second that we're live. Hi, Facebook. We're live here. This is episode number 933. And I want to say hello to you at home, or if you pop into the viewing audience and ask a question later on, I'll try to look for questions you might have for today's guest. So first of all, I want you to know that this show started so that you at home can get to know who comedians really are off stage, behind their mask, any kind of mask, who they are. Do you like them? What are they like? What do they do in their free time? Are they real? Are they a bunch of dicks? What are they? You get to know them. And then if you like them, you find out where they're performing, you follow them on social media, and you don't follow them down the street. Got it? Got it. So now for the two sponsors that I have, the veteransofcomedy.com is one of them, and they have put me on their payroll as a comedian in their touring group. And I love Will C. and Eric Knowles, who started it. It's for military veterans who do comedy. So next time you want to hire somebody who used to serve our country and they now serve jokes, go to the veteransofcomedy.com. That's my paid ad number one. Paid ad number two is a lady here in Vegas named Dawn Reese, and she has the Living Water, and she's my other sponsor. She gives me lots of bottles of water, and I love her. And so check out Living Water and see what they're all about. So that's my story on why I do the interviews, and that's a nod to both sponsors. But the great news you have, wherever you're at home or in the chat box, it doesn't matter, you've got a treat for you today. This guy has been the nicest, most congenial, funniest guy in Vegas. Never, ever is he like high and low, friendly, not friendly. He's just stable all the time, friendly, nice, supportive, funny. America, if you don't book him, you're doing yourself and your customers a disservice. Don't shake your head, Patrick. Now let me do the intro for this fine comedian in Vegas. So here's his bio. Patrick Chase is a well-rounded comedian with a voice that has been entertaining audiences for over a decade. With his honest demeanor and sincere delivery, it's really hard not to like this guy. Is that what I just told you or what? If you're in the audience, it's only a matter of time before this attention seeker catches you off guard with his passionate rants and humorous perspective on everyday issues. Not only was Patrick known as the class clown through grade school, he also was an extremely thorough learner. He took first grade twice. What he has accomplished in the past 12 years, most comics have done in less than 3. Simply put, if you're in the mood for some honest fun, you need to check him out. You'll most likely feel much better about yourself afterwards. Oh my gosh, here he is for us. We're so lucky today. Welcome to the stage, right here on Comic Spot, Patrick Chase.
Woo! That was quite the intro, Linda. Thank you so much. I must have you fooled because I'm not that nice of a guy.
You are too. You've always been so nice to me. How come are you such a nice guy? You don't want that title, but you've got it. So why are you such a nice guy?
Well, because being an angry, mean guy doesn't get you far. Plus, I like people and I don't hold grudges. It's just not in my soul to be angry at someone. I don't know. I grew up with 2 older brothers. They were always bullying me. I have a twin sister who's special needs. So I dealt with that. My folks really just focus on her mostly. And my 2 older brothers, I love them to death. I still good gracious with my whole family. But yeah, I just grew up in a very I don't know, my both parents worked, so it was just kind of like fight or flight mode, and I was the baby of the family. So I just put up with a lot of stuff and just learn how to take the good with the bad, and I just try not to sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know that a lot of times when I see you at Ocha on Thursday nights, that it's like a real grind there. It's comic after comic and many times you're in the back and you don't care if you get up early or late. You're just there for the ride. I just appreciate your spirit so much.
Well, that's why I moved out here actually, because originally I'm from Chicago. That's where I did the bulk of my stand up, and I just moved out here a little over a year ago, and really just to break into a new scene and just kind of organically and genuinely work my way up, more like a new beginning, I guess. So you can call myself a born again comedian, if you will. But and I, you don't get far if you're a jerk, or supporting people and giving back is a huge part of what other comics need to learn, is how you get ahead in this game. Is people remember, and some guy you were a jerk to might get a commercial deal, or might, get up ahead of you. And it's like, for what? And I'm not saying I'm looking at trying to ride someone's coattails here, but if I do have coattails to ride, I like to bring the nice people along with me.
So who is Dan Saber to you in comedy? He's here on the chat. Do you want to say hello to him? Is he a friend of yours? He
Let me
says hi.
see where can I see the chat?
It's on Facebook, on my
Oh,
Facebook
all
wall.
right. Okay, sorry. I got you.
He says hi to you.
All right, well, tell him I said hi back. I'm not on Facebook right now.
Oh, he says he doesn't know, you guys don't know each other. He was just saying hi. He
Oh,
says
all right.
he's my friend. I know you're my friend, Dan, but I thought you were trying to say hello to Patrick. Thanks for coming on, Dan. You're gonna find out what he's like. Hey, Dan, where are you at, Dan? Maybe you can book him. He's the greatest comedian. He's so great. He's like one of those dark horses, like you don't push your way around. You just wait for the opportunities to come. And I really respect that.
Yeah, that is true. And that's kind of what I'm learning out here, is just stay in your lane, and just be true to the game, be true to your abilities. As a comic, I don't try to be someone I'm not on stage. I was doing that early in my career. Like if I'm bombing or something, I would try to go and just shift gears to like a style of comedy that is not in my comfort zone, when ultimately all you really have to do is just be honest. Sometimes I'll even tell the audience, hey guys, I know this is not working out, but I only have a few minutes left, so I will torture you, just kind of roll with a joke about it versus trying to pretend it's not happening, right?
Absolutely.
I can't please everyone, and now I know that, and now I'm able to move forward because of that.
Oh, here we go. He's talking to us. He says, he's from Loveland, Colorado, and he used to do stand-up here in Vegas under the name of Chase Chavez.
Okay.
And he changed his stage name to Dan Saber. It's trying to keep up with people. And then they have an Instagram handle that says ping pong noodles.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, so I'm with you on that, Linda. I need your first name at least, not your Instagram handle. Like, because I feel like a jerk sometimes, where I'm friends with someone in the scene, but I don't know their real name. And it's like, it's been a year now, bro. Like,
I know.
Still don't know my name. I'm like, I know you on Facebook as DJ whatever, blah blah blah. But
let's talk about little Patrick Chase growing up. So you had a sister with special needs, and you came from a family of 3 or 4 siblings?
Yeah, so twin sister Amanda.
You're a twin?
Yeah, I'm a twin. Yeah, you're a twin too, right?
Of a boy.
Okay, yeah. So my twin sister Amanda, sweetheart. She's doing great. But growing up, yeah, I was just kind of, my parents were busy, right? They were busy with my brothers, with my sister, and working. So And I was always a funny kid. I always like had a good sense of humor. I was kind of not a bad kid in school, but I just would annoy teachers and do typical comedian hijinks, right? And that's what a comedian is. If you weren't in detention as a kid, it's going to be tougher to be a comedian.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like we're malicious. I was never malicious, but I was just, cracking jokes at inappropriate times, things like that. A real smart ass. And to be honest with you, I flunked first grade. Okay. And this is around the time when they realized my sister had special needs. She was going to school before me. Because they found out what happened was she was deaf for like the first 2 years. So she missed out on some of those motor skills, and then they fixed the issue. But those are crucial years. So she's not like, she's functional. She's not like she works at Walgreens. She's been there for 20 years. She's about to have her 25th year anniversary where you get like, I think she said 25% off for life. So she's doing good. But so when I flunked first grade, they were like, let's test him. So they made me take like an IQ test. And I like blew it away. It was like so high. They're like, all right, he just doesn't like school. And I just never was interested. This is before ADD and all that. They didn't really diagnose things. You put in a special class or get in where you fit in real life. It wasn't like it is today. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just, I struggled through school. And the only reason I made it was because teachers liked me and they knew I wasn't an idiot. I just was a goofball. So
Yeah.
same with every real job I've had. I've never been good at any day job. Only reason I've never been fired is because, again, I'm funny at work and I build morale. Morale is up when Pat's around. At least I try to think that.
So, what are some jobs that you've had in the past that are silly jobs? Those are always fun to hear.
So not really silly. Like after high school, I started out right in the insurance world.
Wow.
And I was like, I was a clerical mail guy for like 4 years. And then at like 20, like 20 years old, I was a claims adjuster making like 45K, which is a lot of money for a 20-year-old, but I sucked at it because it was just, I'm a goofball. I'm not a cubicle guy. And I was always like on a PIP, which in the corporate world, they call a performance improvement plan. God, I hate that. So glad I don't do office work, but I was an insurance adjuster. It was a terrible mistake on everyone's part. So I quit that job and then I went to do insurance brokerage, which I'm not trying to bore you guys. I'm going somewhere with this, but at the brokerage world, I was dealing with huge accounts, McDonald's, this and that, like way too much for this idiot to be handling. And lo and behold, layoffs came and they were like so sad to see me go. They don't want to have to lay me off, but I'm like, just as long as I get unemployment, I'm cool. So they had me do like a comedy show at the corporate office in New York. And yeah, and it was like a farewell thing. And it was just fun. I roasted like all the higher ups and it was because I'm funny at work. Like I was the worst employee, but the morale that I brought to the office was like unmatchable. I do miss it a little bit, but only that part. The rest of it, no way. That's why I'm so glad I moved out here to Vegas. I quit all that insurance work in Chicago, and out here I'm just loving life, struggling, but having fun while I'm doing it.
So in Vegas here, are you holding down a day job or is comedy paying your way?
So definitely not comedy. The gigs out here pay crap, as I'm sure you know. You're lucky to get 2 drink tickets and gas money, which is fine though. I'm okay with that. Because like I said, I'm working my way up. The money and stuff will come later. I just got to perfect my product. But I did land a job, thank God, to Dan Hall, another fellow comedian in the scene. So I do comedy on deck bus tours. Yeah, so it's Linda, I'm telling you right now, it's like my dream job. Like God put me on this earth to do this job. It is so fun. So what it is, I'm a comedian on a tour bus. We have a driver who drives, and I go Las Vegas to the Grand Canyon, there and back. It's like a 8-hour day, 9-hour day on the bus. But it's so rewarding because these people are on tour. They've never seen the canyon. And it's a boring ride. So having me up there just kind of goofing off. And I'm not doing material. I'm just my personality. I'm just, having fun, doing crowd work, getting to know them. Because there's families on there. I don't want to drop no F-bombs. I'll save that for the nighttime. But fantastic job. I work with a bunch of great comedians as well, because they book working comics to be the tour guide. So there's like Dan Hall, Parker. He's one of them. He's a new one. He started when I did. So yeah, it's just awesome job. I do it like 3 days a week, and it's allowing me to pay rent and cover all my bills. So win-win. So I'm so happy. Things are panning out.
That's so great. Oh, I want to book a tour where you guys are on there.
Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
One time, and the person didn't have a personality. I don't know what tour company it was.
Yeah, no, we have fun on there. It is an early day though. Like I have to get up at like 4:30, 5 a.m. But when I get there and I'm on the bus, like again, it's a job that I love because I've never been able to get up that early and be happy at work. I gotta be at 6 a.m. picking these people up and being chipper when you definitely can't do it hungover. I tried it once. It was miserable. So, but I only do it like 3 days a week. So it works out.
That's so great that 3 days a week covers your bills. That's awesome. And that you love it. Oh my gosh. So in your grade school and high school, you got in trouble like I did for being a smart aleck. But did any of your teachers anywhere along the way or friends say that you should do comedy?
Absolutely. About all of them. I would say 80% of them. Yeah, in high school, so another funny story, a true story as well. So in high school, a new school had just opened up down the street from our house. And so I went freshman year to another high school while this other one was being built. So then my sophomore year, we were the first class in this new high school. So senior year class of 2000 at Bartlett High School. I was the first ever homecoming king. They elected me homecoming king as a joke too. I put my name on the ballot, goofing off, and it just caught full steam. And I was ditching class. Like I wasn't a really good student. I was like, hanging out with stoners and stuff. So like when I won, it was hilarious because I had cut class earlier, like that day on homecoming, to go celebrate with some people, and came back, and I had to they put the crown on me, and I'm all high and just this is surreal. My mom showed up, and everything. It was hilarious. But again, it's like people like me, and I'm not like the coolest guy, but I'm just not a jerk, and just people get along with me.
That's so cool. I've never seen anybody have a difficult time with you. So let me ask you, when was the very first, so that time that you did the roast to the job, that was the first time you did comedy?
No, I was doing I went to Second City in Chicago for a year. I did all the classes and I auditioned for 2 shows. Didn't get the auditions, but then I realized I don't really like the theater too much, acting. I mean, I'm not knocking it, but it just wasn't for me. So after my Second City classes, I would go up across the street. There was an open mic night. And this was back before all the comedy clubs came to Chicago. When I first started, there was only one. It was Zany's. That was the only stand-up club. The rest of Chicago it's a mecca for improv. So you got Second City, the Annoyance Theater, Improv Olympics started there, and just a whole bunch of different improv. That's why you see a lot of SNL alum come out of there and stuff. But it wasn't a lot of stand up. But I would go to these open mics and just watch people just bomb. You know, we've been to open mics. You get maybe one or two performances, but 80% of the time it's just, wow, anyone can do this, huh? And that's kind of the confidence I needed. So then this other person that I met along the way, I just went in the newspaper, and this Jim Roth, who I still talk to today, he had hosted a stand-up comedy class at the Cubby Bear right across from Wrigley Field. So it was like $300. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it, even if it's a waste of money, because it came with a show at the end, like a guaranteed show with an audience. And I always wanted to see what it's like to perform jokes in front of a stand-up audience. So I took the class, and I was good in it. Like all these other guys are writing good jokes. I'm not really a good joke writer. I'm more of a personality. So I need an energy. I need an audience. It's hard for me I'm more nervous in front of 5 people than I am in front of 5,000. So I took the class, and he was literally like, I don't think you're going to do well on stage. And I'm like, just wait, and then sure as shit, it's a packed house. Sorry, I don't mean to swear.
Okay.
It's a packed house. My family's there. My brothers are there. And they're like, I got my comedy from them, you know, zinging. Like we would just, no feelings spared, rip each other hard. That's why I have such thick skin. And so I was nervous. I was so nervous. And I did 8 minutes. Like you're only supposed to do 5. I did 8. But I murdered it. Like people were cracking up. And I just got that itch right away. That first performance, I murdered it. And I was doing good after that for a while. I had some good jokes, but then I had my first bomb, like hardcore in front of my family and everything. And it was like devastating. I thought about quitting. I was like, and that was like a month into it. I was high on this horse still. I did like 5 more shows after that. And then, it hit me. And then I bombed, and it still hurts when you bomb, but I think any comedians, younger comedians, just, you got to get beat down for a while till you figure this thing out. It's still not hard, or it's still not easy, but you learn how to kind of control your feelings. But I tell you, after a bad bomb, I take a break for 3 days. That's my rule.
That's
3
good
days
for
to let it just shake it off, because you can mess this up in here. If you get in here too much, it can hinder your whole performance.
Yes, absolutely. So you say you're not a good joke writer, you're more of a personality. So what do you, when you're writing, when you've got jokes, so you write good jokes, you may not think it's your strength, but when you write a joke, do you start with an idea like the premise, or do you hear a punchline and build the premise? What's your process?
So basically it's a thought or an idea that I think would be funny for me to talk about to a live audience, right? It's something that I'm like, oh, this made me just an idea, right? Like I got one now that I'm tinkering with, and if anyone wants to steal this, fair enough, but just know it's mine. Because I just seen a commercial for America Runs on Dunkin', and out here in Las Vegas, there is a plethora of 7-Elevens everywhere, on every corner. And it's like, if America Runs on Dunkin', it's being killed by 7-Eleven, because you can't just buy one item. Like I tried to buy one Red Bull the other day, and they're like, well, you can get 6 for the price of 2. And it's like, I don't want 6. I want one goddamn Red Bull. Can I just buy one fucking thing without, sorry, I'm getting pissed. But it was like, but it's frustrating. So that thought is prompting me to try to write a joke about it, because I think everyone will be able to relate to that. And it's not just 7-Eleven. Like, how many energy drinks do I need? I'm gonna have a cardiac arrest before I don't know, there's something there. But so that's the process. And not tonight at Ocha, but maybe next week I will have a joke for that for you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing it.
I will challenge myself and see if I can come up with something at least decent. But all comedy is really just storytelling. Yes, there are strategic joke writers, and there are people that I envy, like the one-liner comics. I don't have a good enough memory to remember all that. I have to tell stories so I can segue into my next bit, so I know where I'm at. That way, if I get a heckler or some awkward thing happens, I can address it and still find my way back. And it sucks when you leave a gap out and you're like, damn it. Like I've done that where I have like a joke where I call back and I left it out. So now there goes my ender. And I got to come up with something new. But I am a good joke writer, but only for me. Like I don't know if I could write a sitcom unless there's a character based off of me in that sitcom.
Yeah,
Or someone I feel I can relate to.
you're very much yourself off stage, right here, and on stage. You are who you are.
Right. That's how way I know how to be funny is just doing Pat stuff. Go
Yeah,
with Pat.
yeah. And sometimes you're very subdued in a crowd waiting to go on, and then you turn it on, but you're still yourself. You're just more amped up on stage.
Yeah. It just gives me a fun energy. And if I see a low energy, I feel challenged. Like, all right, it's on me now. Let's see what I can do. And the other night, you were hosting at Wise Guys. Yeah, do you do that a lot over there? Host
That's
there?
the second time.
Second time. Wow. Well, it was great. But did you see there was like a weird energy in there? And I felt terrible. Like I couldn't get them going. I didn't feel bad like I failed. I just was like, wow, I thought I could get it, but it's hard to do in 3 minutes.
It's so hard. And like Asa said to me that the crowd was dying in the middle there. All the strong people that get the room going, a lot of them were at the beginning, and then it kind of died off in the middle. And then some of the newer comics didn't know how to handle it. So they started acting angry or taking out
like
frustration, and that made it worse.
Never. And any comic who's listening that does that, don't. The audience showed up. You need to be thanking them. It's not their fault you're not funny enough. It's not their fault they don't get your style. They paid, they're drinking, you leave them alone and you go home and rethink your set or whatever it is. But yeah, I hate when comics do that.
When
like they blame the audience.
I know, and blame the host and blame the club. Were you there at the end?
No, because I had to work the next day. So I did that and left.
The reason I asked is the last comic, he brought all those people from LA that were sitting off to the right, and he wasn't on the list because he didn't get there in time. And so when I said that these are the last few comics, he comes up and he goes, well, you must have not seen my name in the bucket. Well, two of us handled the bucket. Neither one of us saw him. We said, well, what time did you get here? He said 7-ish. Well, it stops at 7. So you didn't get in and he's like complaining. And then Asa says, just put him up. So they put him up, and most of his set is all about how crappy the club is that they made him wait. And the two girls in the back did this because he's ugly. And like, that's not good. And then let me tell you, the time is up. So we started clapping and he wouldn't get off stage. So I'm military. I got my booty up on that stage. I walked right in front of him. I walked right in front of him and I thanked the audience. He kept doing his comedy while I'm thanking the audience for coming and telling them to go across the street to the baking company with their receipt. And he's still talking, being an idiot. He wouldn't shut up.
Oh my God. Well, now you know. Well, comedy is a rough business. Open mics are a shot in the dark. I've never been to one that was, I'm not going to say I've never, like some nights at Ocha are fun. I mean, they're always fun, but to be honest with you, I love Ocha just to go hang out. I've never done a great set there because it's too late for me. It's just too late. I'm either too drunk when I get there or I'm tired. And either way, but it's still fun. I mean, I still enjoy it. Maybe I need to get my butt up there earlier, probably.
It's fun to go out and hang. And if you go up on stage, you just say, it's kind of late. I'm just joking around here, know, and take the pressure off yourself because it's too late to really be logical and do it right.
Exactly. And you have the whole room is just comics thinking the same way. Like, it's just the late night fun, which is good. again, I've had some good sets, decent sets there. I've seen some great ones, but most importantly, I've seen people growing there,
Yes.
because it's a tough crowd. So I've seen comics get their teeth kicked in, come back the next time, and that's what it is. That's why they call it the dojo. It's a place. It's like a place for us to spar and get your skin a little thicker. Are you
Yes.
gonna be there tonight?
Yeah, I'm coming tonight. Let me read you some more of these little comments here. Dan Saber says, I'm not ping pong noodles. And he went on. Jay Monet Holman is watching. Love her. Oh my gosh. Don't you
Oh,
love
Jay
her?
Monet. Oh, love her. She's one of my favorites.
And
She's such a cool person.
she is. Good show, Comedy Family, the message. She's hashtagging it for us, so that'll help it go viral.
All right, Jay Monet. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Jay Monet. So what is it that where are you performing in the near future? Where do you want to perform? How far do you want to travel to perform? What clubs do you want to perform in before you get old like me and die?
Oh, come on. Why you gotta say that? Really? Come on.
It's my favorite thing to say.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, so I plan to stay out here another year, maybe two. If I'm gonna move anywhere else, it might be Austin. I want to try to stay out of LA, but I want to stay close to LA. Austin or Atlanta after this, and then
Nice.
clubs I want to do out here in Vegas. I definitely want to do Wise Guys. I definitely want to do LA Comedy Club. I love it there. Brad Garrett's, and then for sure one of my near future goals is the Dirty at 12:30. I definitely want to get on there. That's one of the hottest shows. Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows. I try to go there every chance I get, but some nights I'm doing stuff on Fridays too. But Gabe and company have a great thing going there. It's such a well organized show, and it reminds me of the showcase that I started out in Chicago called the Mikey-O Comedy Show. When I first started comedy, about 2 months in, I met him out in my hometown, which is Elgin, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. And he did a little showcase there, and I did 3 minutes. And then he was like, all right, we do a big show downtown in Chicago at Joe's on Weed Street, huge bar, holds like 400 people. So he's like, bring 5 minutes next week. And me and my family came, and I crushed it. And it just gave me that energy. So it reminds me so much because he would do these once a month. And that Dirty at 12:30 reminds me so much of that. So every time I go there, I just get like goosebumps. Like, man, one of these days I'm gonna get up there. And when I do, I promise I will deliver. Sure.
When you get on the Dirty, I want to know, and I want to get a ride with you and go and support you because it's
Absolutely.
too much in an Uber. Costs
No,
too
we
much.
got you. Me or Dan Hall. Dan Hall lives right by me, and we live like 8 minutes from there.
Oh, awesome. So now in the next week or so, couple weeks, where are you performing?
So right now I have nothing booked, but I'm actually texting right now a producer at this new spot in the art district called the Art House. He actually just texted me. So I'm gonna call
Very
him.
good.
I did a trial show called the Pat Chase Showcase there a few weeks ago. It went all right, some kinks to work out, but so hopefully get my own showcase soon. I'm kind of working on that. Other than that, right now I'm just kind of focusing on my comedy on deck tour job, and just hitting up mics and showcases, just to get I have some new jokes that I'm rolling out. So I'm going to be just kind of, my goal is to get a new 15 minutes by the 4th of July. I'm like almost there. I got about 8 of it worked out. So just a few more jokes, and then have a good chunk of new material by 4th of July.
Oh, that's super. So where can people follow Patrick Chase on social media? Where can we help your numbers?
So hit me on Instagram, which is Pat Chase Me, pretty simple. And then just on Facebook, hit me on Patrick Chase. I'm going to be setting up TikTok here soon, but I haven't done that yet. But I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring and go do the TikTok. I don't want to do TikTok, but it's a lot of people are getting a lot of work from it. So it would be stupid of me not to, as a business person and trying to take the next level of comedy. So stay tuned for my TikTok channel, which I will be. I do have a YouTube channel as well. It's just Patrick Chase. You can find me on there. Not much content. I have some edits that I'm rolling through that I'll be uploading soon. So you'll get clips of some of my jokes. And it's all from when I was in Chicago, though. Nothing new here, but that's why I'm writing these new jokes so I can have some content over the summer to be uploading. And then you can also find my side project, which is Dirty Vegas. So just go on Instagram, Dirty Vegas TV, and you'll find me and my buddy Nate Payne. We're working on kind of like a buddy cop spoof, what have you, in Vegas, little skits and just shorts. And we're going to have a whole channel. So we're going to be filming some stuff coming up this summer too. So check out Dirty Vegas TV on Instagram. And then just go to my Pat Chase me or Patrick Chase on Facebook. Throw me a message, hit me with a shout out. If you got any potential gigs, throw them my way. I'll reciprocate any way I can.
You're the best, man. You're just a comics comic. I love you so much. You're all, if there's 10 people in the room, I'd rather stand by you.
Oh, come on.
No,
Linda,
you're the
well,
best.
you know what?
You're the
sweetest
best.
thing. You're the sweetest thing in comedy since Lucille Ball. And I mean it. That was my mom's like favorite comedian.
I love Lucille Ball. I love her. I met her daughter in
Oh, yeah?
1971.
She is pretty or
She's very pretty. She's
Oh,
very
okay.
she's very left brained. She's not funny, you know. She's very
okay. She's
goal
serious.
oriented.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not
Goals
like her
means-
mom. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
thank you
wait,
for having me, Linda. I
here's the
appreciate it.
last question, Patrick.
Uh-oh.
What is it that you have to do to feel like you lived your life out? Before you die, what's one thing you gotta do?
I just want to be on one late night show, just the one set on any one of the major late night shows, just to be like, bam, I got it. And then that will solidify all this blood, sweat, and tears, mostly tears, that I've put into this journey, if you will. So, but yeah, I just this year in Vegas here too, try to take it more serious. Back home, it's easy to be distracted because I grew up there. It's my comfort zone. You know, I have original friends out there that are married with kids, can be distracted too, because they're like, when are you going to just grow up and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what? No, I'm going to make a living at being an idiot. And I'll show you guys. But definitely any one of the late night spots, if I could get a set on there, which probably won't be too far off if I just keep doing what I'm doing. So
it's not that hard.
stay tuned, America.
I've seen people get on there and you're like, you know, I think you got a shot at that, Patrick. I'm behind you all the way.
Well, I appreciate that, Linda. I thank you for letting me on your show. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks for waiting and being so patient till I finally got done being sick.
Well, I'm just glad that I get to do this at home because I really didn't want to put pants on today. So thank you.
Me either. Yeah.
If you don't, I'm not going to show you, but yeah.
Show and tell.
No, it's a small megabyte. All right.
I'm kidding. Thank you so much, Patrick.
All right. I will see you tonight then, probably.
Yes, I'll be there. I'm going to take a little old lady nap and get in an Uber and I'll be there.
No worries. All right, Linda. Thanks again and God bless you.
God bless you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, how in the world is this supposed to work? Why isn't the button?